What's good, YouTube? I am back with another video, and today we got a very special video because I'm gonna be giving you guys a market breakdown on 5 pairs that I think you should trade. So without any further waste of time, let's get into it.
Don't think about it. Hey yo, yo. On two, mic check.
So the first instrument that I want you guys to check out this week is GBPUSD. So the thing that I usually do when I start my analysis is that I go to the daily time frame. Right, this is the daily time frame, and then I'm gonna start pointing out my support and resistance. Let's see, we have level right there. We have another level right there. Let me just make these thicker, you guys. I'm sure you guys can see. So don't zoom out too much, because then you'll just include vectors that are not even necessary to include. You just have your support and resistance, especially close up. Right? Have your levels, your key levels, just like that. It's a major support level. Then I'm gonna draw my overall trend line. For my overall trend line, as you guys can see, we do have our first touch, our second touch right there. And now we're ready for our third touch, which we've already had, but the market hasn't really moved, so we're hoping to get in on this fourth touch, right? So we just remove all that. Okay, so now that I've done this, let me just draw my upper trend line at this point and that point, way back here. Okay, so this is my overall trend line. If you don't know about trend lines, I do have a video that I dropped about trend lines, all you need to know about them, so make sure you go check that out after watching this video. So I see that we have this really good support level right there. So now I'm gonna go down to my 4-hour time frame, which is where I'm gonna look for more trend lines, more support levels that need to be pointed out on my chart. So now I do see that I do have this existing trend line right there, and I do have this supporting trend line right here, right? So I have my supporting trend line and my resisting trend line like that, and just gonna make sure that my key levels are clear. So I'm gonna turn them into zones, because support and resistance doesn't act as just a straight line, it acts as zones. So make sure that you zone out your key levels. Now let's dive into the 1-hour time frame. I'm just taking you guys through the process that I always go through before I decide on my entries, right? So the 1-hour time frame, I wanna look for more resistance or support, right? So I see that you have this level right here. It's a zone, right? As you can see, that it's not just a straight line. It's not a point where I can just add a straight line like this, right? Because you can see here, you say it was broken, but really it's just a zone, right? Not a straight line where price just turns. It's a zone. Yeah, I think that's also a good zone right there. Got a good zone right there. So in my zone, see that I got my first touch, got my second touch, third touch. Press just reverses right here, right? That's why I spotted out that zone. Now let's go down to the 15 minutes. Now already I can see that I'm looking for buying opportunities in this market, because I'm on my overall support level from the daily time frame, and getting closer, I can spot out a beautiful chart pattern on 1-hour time frame. Right, spot out a beautiful chart pattern. Right, I did a video on this last time. This is a falling wedge, right? So this falling wedge indicates that the market is ready for our buys, right? That's what this pattern is actually showing us. But We don't lead the markets, guys. Remember that. Always remember that we don't lead the market. We always follow. If it happens that the market breaks, you have to wait for a retest. Then the market will obviously continue towards the downside, right? So let's go down to our 15 minutes time frame, which is where I always take my entries. I always take my entries on the 15 minutes time frame. So now let's go down to the 15 minutes time frame, and as you guys can see, this looks bigger on the 15 minutes time frame. So maybe I could find another pattern. So what I will do is that I think this is also a really good pattern. You see, I have my resisting trend line and I've got my supporting trend line. So we are on a support level, right? This is called a symmetrical triangle, guys. For those who don't know, this is a symmetrical triangle. Now, one thing about a symmetrical triangle is that it can either break out towards the upside, right? Or it can also break out towards the downside. That's one thing about a symmetrical triangle. That's why I didn't include it in my video last time, because it's not really a pattern that you would like to trade, right? So obviously seeing this, I now know that, okay, I'm looking for my buying opportunities, right? I'm looking for my buying opportunities. I can see this, right? We do have nice supporting level right there. You can see that price keeps on reversing on this line that I just drew right now. Price keeps on reversing right there, reversed all the way right here. So now, obviously looking to go long, right? Looking to go long at least up until that point. Yeah, this is my analysis on GBPUSD. This is what I'm going to be doing this upcoming week. So let's move on to the next currency pair, which is USDCAD. On to USDCAD. Okay, USDCAD. Now, as I said, I start my analysis on the daily time frame. Okay, so on the daily time frame, first thing that I always do is that I spot out my support levels. Yeah, I got my nice supporting level right there. Right there, I got my resisting level. Got another support level. Just spot out your key levels, guys. Keep it simple. Don't make this even hard, guys. Please keep it simple. So I think that's enough. And then I'm gonna start drawing my trend line. Only draw your trend lines on a high time frame if it's applicable. Don't keep on looking for them, because they're gonna be very far away anyway, right? Focus on trend lines on the lower time frames, because trend lines are really good for entries. So now you see that we got a overall bearish trend. So the reason why GBPUSD was bullish and USDCAD was bearish is because these are opposite correlating pairs, right? So if GBPUSD is going up, USDCAD has to be going down, right? That's just how it is, because these are opposite correlating pairs, right? So let me just remove that real quick. Let's carry on with the analysis, guys. I don't want to make this video too long, even though I know that it's going to be really long because it's 5 currency pairs. They require a lot of focus and analysis. So going down to a lower time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame. Now, this is where I'm going to be looking for more support and resistance key levels, right? And I'm going to be zoning out my daily key levels, right? So I'm just going to zone those out quickly. Focus on what's currently on your chart. What you should do. I'm not going to touch these two, right? Because they're so far away. And I'm only going to focus on what I can already see right now, right? So I'm going to start looking for more key levels on my 4-hour time frame. I've already spotted some. Right here. I think this is a good one too, yes. So I'm not going to zone those out because they're on a lower time frame. So let me just move down to the 1 hour because I see a trend right here. I see a really good trend. So now I'm going to draw my trend line. This. See that this was the liquidity grab. Clearly a liquidity grab because it was false breakup, right? So let's move on. That's my supporting trend line. Now I can already see where I'm going with this. I can already see, and I hope you guys can already see too, right? Because you can see that we do have this resistance right here. So if price comes up here, you're gonna want it to break out and wait for your retest. Make sure you wait for your retest. Make sure of that. And then excuse me, you're gonna be ready to go short on this market. Be ready to go short. And you can see, guys, that these are opposite correlating pairs because I was going long on GBPUSD and I'm going short on USDCAD. I'm selling USDCAD. So this is what I see for USDCAD. And I'd obviously take this entry on the 15-minute time frame because I'm a day trader and that's what I like to do, basically. So you can see right here, you don't really need to complicate things, guys. You don't really need to complicate things. So like I said, guys, I think I'm going to end the analysis of this pair on the 1 hour time frame because it's already pretty clear what you need to do, and you can capture all these pips if this market really goes down. But remember, if the market breaks out here, maybe it's going to come to touch the market just to test the market a little bit, and then it's going to go down, right? If it doesn't go down, I'm just giving you guys the possibilities here because I don't want to predict the market for you guys. I just want to give you guys an out view on what I think the market is going to do this week. If it doesn't go down, it might break out, maybe give you a false breakout or bounce for a retest, and then you'll be ready to confidently take your long positions by USDCAD, right? So that's the great thing about waiting for your retest, is that you get to have more confident trade. You get to stack up on those trades and maximize on those profits. Patience is key, guys. So let's move on to the next currency pair. Like I said, I'm mostly looking for short positions here, right? That's what I'm mostly looking for. But make sure you confirm this analysis, guys. Next pair is USDJPY. So like I said, I start my analysis on the daily. I'm going to keep on repeating this so that you guys also get the hang of it, right? So USDJPY, I don't want to complicate this pair. It has a simple setup, simple analysis. So I'm going to get straight into it. Look at that resistance right there. You can see there's support right here. Now it's resisting right there. That support level. Practice, guys. You need to practice this thing. It becomes easier as you practice more and more. Trust me on that. Excuse me. So I think that's it for my support levels, support and resistance. I think now I can start drawing my trend lines. Make sure you get the most touches on your trend line. Make sure you get the most touches. See, you got that first touch, second touch, third touch. First, second, and third, right? So now for my supporting trend line, this is how I would draw this. Supporting trend line right there. You have our first touch, second touch, and our third touch, right? Just like that. So let me just remove this. Now let's go down to a lower time frame. I think that's it for the daily. Now my lower time frame, this is the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to be looking for more supporting levels and resisting levels. So first things first, though, going to zone out my daily key levels. So you can see, guys, these levels are really good. So you should always include your high time frames in your analysis. Make sure make your zones really thin, because you're still going to go to lower time frames and they're going to appear really huge, and that's just going to be ridiculous. So now I'm going to start looking for my zones on the 4-hour time. Let's see, like this is actually a key level, not necessarily a zone. You can see price just gets there, then it turns, gets there, turns, gets there, turn, got there, turns. See there, right there, right there. Price keeps on turning, right there too. Right, it's actually a key level. That's how I find my key levels. The difference between a key level and a zone, it's not the same thing. So I'm still gonna drop a video on support and resistance, horizontal support and resistance, because there's a difference in that too. So now looking for my trend lines. I think this trend line is gonna appear better on the 1-hour time frame, right? But I'm just gonna try to find it right here on my 4-hour time frame. Just as you can see, guys. So I think we're done on the 4-hour time frame. Let's just dive deeper into the 1-hour time frame. Okay. Now on the 1-hour time frame, you see that This is actually kind of channel. That's okay. Let me just get that right. Beautiful, beautiful. Now guys, what I am seeing here on USDJPY is that we have compressing channel, guys. This is compressing channel. You can see that price is getting compressed because came down and it made higher high right here. But you can see that price is getting compressed into this channel right here, right? So this is on the 1 hour time frame. Then we just fix my trend line because I drew this on the 4 hour time frame. You can see how beautiful those touches are. First touch, second touch, got a third touch, right? You can see price shot up, right? Just like I told you guys on that first video about trend line. So make sure you go check it out, guys. I did say that on your third touch is where you would look to enter your trades, right? Look to enter your trades, the third touch. You guys can see, right? So make sure you don't neglect, you don't neglect your weeks, guys. Okay, because someone run this like this, it's not a problem. Like you can, but let me just show you guys a nice trick. Remove these first. Okay, so now that I have my trend line on the right way, this is what I can do, right? This is what you can do, guys. This is why I say trends are good for entries, right? This is why I said trends are good for entries. So let's go down to 15 minutes time frame. I already know what I'm looking for on this currency because I have my resistance on this trend line. I have my resistance right here and this resisting zone right here, right? So I already know what I'm looking for. Let's go down to the 15 minutes time frame, which is where we will be looking for our entries. So already on the 15 minute time frame, I can spot my rising wedge. I already spot my rising wedge, right? Yeah, rising wedge. You can see, like I explained on my previous video, that if you have a rising wedge of this type, you do expect price to go down, and we are getting this wedge the right place because we are at a resistance, right? At a resistance, so it makes us more confident about our direction, right? So this is what I would be looking for on USDJPY. Looking to go short, take myself, right? If price does give you a beautiful retest, be ready to take your sells. But remember, guys, you don't need the market to follow, right? So if you have your trend line drawn like this, you can see this is why you should always acknowledge your wicks, because on the lower time frame, this is what it's gonna look like. So now, one thing about drawing this trend line that is gonna help you with is that if you get a break here, you have to wait for your retest again, and then you'll be ready to take your second entry, which is what we call scaling in. This is what we call scaling in, right? Going all the way towards the downside. So obviously, if price does go down this way, what you'd be expecting to do is to take your first entries right here. Stop loss real tight. This one you're gonna swing it towards the downside, and you're gonna start scaling in right there. So that's it for USDJPY. And my next currency pair that I want you guys to check out is actually a metal, gold, guys. I know everyone loves gold, even though it's very volatile for beginners, but I'm gonna give it to you guys because I know you guys want gold. So let's go to the daily time frame. Fix that. Alright, so let's start with our support and resistance. Our key levels on the daily time frame. This, as you guys can see, good. That. Let me just add this too. Nice, 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 nice. So I don't really see trend on gold. I'll just bought this out. This right here too. But I don't think it's really necessary on gold because price is so far away from those trend lines. So I'm just gonna go down to a lower time frame, 4 hour time frame. Now, this is where I'm spotting a trend. This is where I'm spotting a trend. But first things first, gonna zone out my key levels, make them into zones. Okay, so now I'm gonna put out my trend. This is it. Good. And supporting trend line. Just draw that right. Okay, that's it. So I think this is better. This is your compressing channel, guys. I hope you guys can see channels right here. We have the channel. We also have this key level almost through a zone. This is actually a key level. You guys can see that whenever, let me just remove that. Whenever price gets here, turned, doesn't really play around, turns, right? So that's a key level, guys. That's a key level. Like I said, I'm still gonna drop a video on that. So let's continue with the analysis. So I'm looking for more zones. Show you look for more zones. See right there, another beautiful zone. So let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. Now on the 1 hour time frame, okay, we do see that we have kind of a build up on the 1 hour time frame. You see right there, getting a nice double bottom pattern. I didn't include a double bottom on my video about chart patterns that you should trade, because the double bottom is sometimes manipulated, right? Because everyone's trading it, so I don't want you guys to get manipulated. So I didn't include it, but you can trade it because sometimes it does work. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, it does, but usually it is the one that is manipulated the most, right? So you can see the pattern that's formed right there, and we have our nice key level from the 4 hour time frame right there. So what I'm anticipating right here is an upwards movement, right? That's what I'm anticipating in gold. I can already see in the 1 hour time frame what to expect. But remember, guys, we don't predict the markets, we only follow, right? So this is what I'm looking for. This is gold. This is my analysis on gold. But if you're a swinger, I'm looking for gold to just reverse a lot. But if it doesn't reverse right here, what it can do is come down to test this supporting level and then reverse, right? So make sure that you are present when those moves take place. Now that's my analysis on gold. I don't think we need to go down to the 15 minutes time frame though. I don't really think so. As you can see, it's the same thing. You just put out your resistance. This is actually a zone, very big zone. You can see prices reversing, right? So let's go to my next pair that I want to share with you guys that you should trade this week is NASDAQ, guys. So I want to get into the analysis, but I just want to remove this. Okay, so I'm gonna start on the daily time frame as always. Start with my key levels. I'm not gonna go very far for NASDAQ because you see that it's at an all-time high. I don't see a reason to look for support and resistance here because we're right here on the daily time frame, but I will look for my trend lines just like that. Yeah, we have our first touch, second touch. We're anticipating the touch somewhere around here, right? So okay, so let me just draw the other trend line. Make sure that you have most touches, get the most touches on your trend line. So and then get your other trend line on. Now you can already see what's happening just by me drawing that trend line. You can already see what's happening on the charts, right? So I think we're done with the daily time frame. Let's just go to the 4 hour time frame. Okay. Now everything is just clear. Everything is just clear, right? Everything is just clear. Now this is the 4 hour time frame, so this is where I zone out my key levels for the daily. Consistency is key, guys. Keep on doing the same thing like a fool, but at the end you will be the smart. Trust me. this supporting level, and I think that's all we need. So okay, now let's look for more supporting levels on 4-hour time frame. We have this zone right here, right? We got our zone, turn that. Okay, so that's the zone. This one, I think that's enough zones on the 4-hour time frame. Now you can see that we've already broken out of this trend line and we retested, came back for a retest. Now we're anticipating a move further down towards the downside, right? That's what we're anticipating on NASDAQ, just from the 4-hour time frame. That's what we're anticipating, right? So what I would advise right here is for you guys to wait for price to print chart pattern, then you'd expect price to go down, right? You would expect price to go down after price has printed a nice rising wedge like that, right? So let me just remove that so that I can continue. So this is the 4-hour time frame. Still gonna go down to the 1 hour. So diving deeper into the 1 hour time frame. Now you can again use trend lines to your advantage. Right here you can see that you have a resisting trend line. Resistance right there. So now what you want to do is, because we've already had this breakout, the price already came back for a retest. Now we're anticipating for that move towards the downside. What you can do is, as I said, wait for price to print you a nice pattern. But if price gets below this supporting level, I would say get ready to short the market. Right, this up until that point, that level right there. Get ready to go down with the market. Have your entries ready. So let's go down to the 15 minutes, see what we have on the 15 minutes time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame, just have to adjust this. You can see we're already on this resistance, so now we're ready to sell. But remember that we do not predict the market, guys. We follow the market phase to break out of here. Maybe this is a false breakout. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. Price can still come back, you know, form a nice trend like this, right? Price can do anything, guys. Make sure you follow, right? So I think that's it, guys. Those are the five pairs that I think you guys should trade this week. So that's the end of the video, guys. That's all I have for you today. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Peace.
It's A Cubes. Yeah.